Morning.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
What you doing? Setting up for something?
No, I was just it's a little project for school. I'm just encouraging people to view my products. It's nothing's for sale. I'm just getting people to admire themselves and the people around them. It's, not loitering, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Did you talk to them over there? Let them know what you're doing?
Oh, who's that?
The Harp Authority, the people that run the place.
Okay. I'll go there next time. Yeah. That's why I parked right there, just to kind of get up and go if somebody has a problem with me doing something.
No, it's not a problem. It's just they kind of like to know what's going on
sure.
on their property.
For sure. Yeah. I'll check them out next time. Yeah, I appreciate you coming by and
Well, if you want to walk over there real quick, I'll wash your stuff till you come back.
Well, I'm actually pretty much done for the day because I've been sitting here for a couple hours.
Okay. Yeah, well, it'd be a good idea once you get all packed up, just drive over there
and let them know what was going on. Okay.
And let them know that you were here.
Yeah, for sure.
So that way, the next time they see you, won't have to question you or anything.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because a lot of times we get people come down here and certain things they can do.
Right.
And certain things you can't do. But,
for sure.
People, they tend to think that this is open to the public, but they fail to realize it's still considered as private property.
Right.
So, I mean, that's anywhere you go.
And that when I set up this project, I knew that I was going to get a problem with people asking for permits and things like that. But it's completely free.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You did your homework,
for sure,
which is good. But on the other hand, to be on the safe side, you're better off just telling the person that you run in case something does happen, because you never know.
Yeah.
People are funny, about certain things,
Sure.
And the first thing they'll do, they'll run and go tell somebody that's in authority.
Right.
When so he was over here doing this, taking pictures of me. I didn't want nobody taking no picture. I like my privacy, he violated my rights and all this. It's kind of nonsense,
Right.
You just got people that are like that.
Right, and I totally agree with the public sphere, but there's a time and a place. There's you want to protest in the right places.
Well, you think about the whole protesting thing. You shouldn't have to protest about anything at all. That's where the country's going to hell in a handbasket. You find every excuse in the world to protest about this, that, or the other. Well, you the one that put that person in office. Now all of a sudden you're going to get out here and protest because you made a mistake by letting that person get in.
Right.
If you hadn't let him in, you wouldn't have nothing to protest about.
That's right.
But people find, you got the naysayers and the doers that find any excuse in the world, to start some kind of controversy.
For sure.
So they can get their 5 minutes of fame or whatever,
I agree completely.
And that's just like, a lot of times we get these drone people to show up down here. It's a public place. I can do whatever I want. I got my license and all this and that. You're still on private property.
That's right.
And people frown on their pictures being taken out in the public, especially if you got some bird hovering over your head. 1,000 feet, or I don't know how many feet you got it in the air.
This was completely pointing at this because I didn't want to worry about people signing consent forms or anything
Right.
So,
But I'm just saying this is the nature of people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't think about other aspects of what they do, and all the stuff, all the particulars that go with it. So a lot of times people show up. They're just like, you take the Girl Scouts.
For sure.
Well, they set up their little stand and start selling their cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody go inside the grocery store and hey, is it okay?
They just
if we sell the cookies out now, somebody come along, snatch their little Girl Scout money.
Mm-hmm.
Now they run in the store. We need some help. We just got robbed. If you had told us that you was setting up your cookie stand out here in the first place, we could have let the police know so they could drive by and watch you. But you didn't do that. You thought it was just okay for you to come and set your little cookie stand up here and sell your cookies in front of our store.
Yeah. I agree.
They're like, Salvation Army. The one thing that they do, they let people know. They get permission when they go and stand out in front of your building and ring the bell, which is a good thing, even though it's private property. They got the okay just to stand out here and ring the bell, drop change in the bucket.
That's right.
There's a way to do anything, and then people just fail, to gravitate in that direction. They figure, well, it's open to the public. They can come down and do what they want, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't always the case. That's just like if you had a house and somebody's dog took a crap on your lawn, didn't clean it up. You get offended by it.
That's right.
Hey, this is my lawn. Let your dog go over there and crap across the street. Why you gonna crap on my lawn?
See, in that CSU, they have the protest zone, the speak free zone, and that's so nobody is bothered by, or they're not interfering with anybody's day-to-day life.
You know what, man? Maybe you could tell me, because I don't understand colleges anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't. You know, you go there to get an education. Then you do all this other stuff. You know, these parties and all this other kind of stuff. Girl ends up getting raped. And then now somebody got a little influence and money. Nobody goes to jail. I mean, when does the colleges start taking responsibility for the stuff that they ain't supposed to do on campus?
For sure.
I mean, you know, it's just like you saying, you giving every athlete or every other male student in the world, a girl shows up at a frat party, you giving them permission to rape her and not do one bit of jail time for it. I don't understand the logic behind colleges. When you supposed to, it's an institution of education.
When you got people that have your back, you know, you got football teams and things like that they all say something so that they were somewhere else.
Right.
It was all vouching for each other.
Right.
And that's yeah, you're right.
And it shouldn't even be like that.
Right.
You did something wrong, you should suffer the consequences behind it.
Right.
You know?
Because I got a little girl too. You know, anytime you're out, you want somebody there with you that can help take care of you. Don't go out by yourself.
Exactly.
You just gotta take care of number one.
You know, I've been doing this 28 years, and I don't know how much or how many times I expressed to people, it's all about safety first. You know, you got to take some kind of precaution to protect yourself, to safeguard yourself. You can't expect somebody else to do it for you. You know, I mean, people do stuff on a routine basis, and then they never switch their routine. They get so stuck in doing something routine, the same thing every day. Yeah, you gotta, you know, break it up a little bit. You can't do the same thing all the time, because for all intents and purposes, we don't know who's out here watching us. That's on a day-to-day basis. And I know, me being here, I'm watched 24/7. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't have to be about something bad. It could be about something good. Somebody can
Stalker or something.
Well, anything. Mm-hmm. Somebody could be watching me just to watch me to see what I'm doing. Somebody could be watching me just to get me in trouble so I can lose my job. 24/7, you always constantly being watched. We under that, and it's just not with the federal government. You know, I mean, I done seen so much stuff pertaining to the government and everything. Now they got it set up to where they can hear your conversation over your TV set. What kind of crap is that?
Yeah, that's just a violation of
you know. And I got 2 laptops. You know what I did? I took tape and a piece of paper and I covered up the lens. Because I went to Staples and to have it, you know, repaired. And the first thing the guy asked me, he said, what is this? I said, hey man, ain't you been watching the news?
Oh yeah.
They can hear your conversation on TV.
And think about it, they just got people coming out of hiding saying that that's been going on. So it's probably been going on long before.
Yeah. I mean, long before this NSA thing happened with they tracking your cell phones and all that crap, you know. And he looked at me, he said, well, why you got this piece of tape? I said, man, I don't know who's watching me, you know, while I got this thing up. So I took a piece of tape and some paper, and I covered it up, man. You know what? I could care less about you hearing me, but I don't want you to see my face. You know, so
it's dangerous.
It's just got me. I mean, I'm not paranoid, but I'm more cautious of what I do. Everything that I do nowadays, you know,
what you say, and
right
before you know it, you got people searching you and your family, and it's just it's just attention you don't really want.
Well, and see, anymore, anybody can be a target for the government. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to do nothing or say nothing. You could end up, just say for instance, you might look like somebody that they looking for. There's similarities in your face. And how many times have you seen people go to jail
Because of that.
and they were innocent,
Wow.
but they went to jail because they looked like the person that they was looking for? See, so you never can tell with the government now. You know, they make the case of mistaken identity, but they won't care because all they concerned about is capturing their man. Well, we got the right guy in custody. How you know you got the right guy?
It's profiling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, you know, anymore, man. Shoot,
Some of those guys are good too. They know what people are doing, what people are thinking. I mean, if they got bulges hanging out their pockets, I mean, some of them guys, they could spot stuff like that from a mile away.
I mean, and you know, you talk about all this espionage, and you got this government with spies, you got that country with spies. Everybody's a spy nowadays, you know, and they doing so much underhanded stuff that, you know, you just don't know who to trust in this country no more. Because for the sure thing, the only person that you know that you can really trust is yourself.
That's right.
You know you ain't did nothing wrong. You know they ain't got no reason for the government to come after you. But as far as the government concerned, as long as they got your digits, you're a person of interest to them.
Yeah.
And always be there. Well, hey, man, it was good chatting with you.
Yeah. Hey. have
Good
a
luck
day
with
working.
your stuff.
Project. Yep.
Is that what you call it, stuff?
Getting people to view themselves and see the beauty in themselves, and that large corporations, you don't need them to see yourself. And
I like your thinking, man. I've always said that about corporate America. People are being sucked in by it, and they just don't see the broader picture.
That's right.
They really don't, you know.
And this is to see your friend, the same thing. To
Right.
See how beautiful they are, and the world. To
Yeah,
see the world,
see?
how beautiful.
See, me being a bachelor, and back in the day, I used to feel that way about, you know, plus size women, you know, because they always felt like they didn't mean nothing, or they didn't amount to anything. And I used to have this saying, and I tell them all the time. I said, TIS. He said, what's that mean? Thick is sexy. You know, TIS. Thick is sexy. I said, it ain't about what's on the outside. It's what's on the inside.
Well, and that's just symbolic. Makeup is the first thing people say because, you know, it's a mirror. But I mean, it's cars and everything. What we buy to try to impress other people. And
Exactly.
There's nothing more beautiful than ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, why do you have to impress other people? Why aren't you just satisfied with being you? You know, and this is what I used to tell a lot of, you know, the bigger women. And I say, well, you know, I said, now here's the difference between you and that girl with the hourglass figures. She can boast and brag about how good she looks because that's the way she is. But she ain't the same person as you. You know, because there, to me, in my honest opinion, there is a mystique, a mystery to plus size women.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't get all the attention, and a lot of them get frustrated because they want to have sex, but they can't have sex
That's right.
because they're not being chosen. But it's that self-esteem that they don't allow themselves to have. Their self-esteem is low, and because they put themselves on that level. You know, I said, if you build up your self-esteem, you can get any man you want.
That's right.
You know,
Just walk how you know.
it's how you carry yourself. You don't need all this powder and rouge and stuff like that. If you're natural, that's how people gonna perceive you, as being natural. And I mean, if you stop and think about it, that's the way we came on this planet anyway. I mean,
Well, and you're less like, you're talking about safety too. I mean, how you carry yourself is important. If you're walking around, you know, with your head buried and stuff, you're a target.
everybody that you see, how many people you see, you got this over their head or this in their ears, or they doing this with a phone camera with a pole hanging off of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying attention to everything that's going on around them. Prime example, the Boston Marathon. Out of all the guys that saw what happened, did you see that in the news? When one guy, he come forward and he talked, he was the only one that noticed them three guys with backpacks, and nobody else had them. Now, all these people running the marathon, how is it possible that nobody didn't recognize that? How is it possible?
Just an alert. Maybe it hadn't happened for a while. Negligent.
See? And that's the whole problem, man. We tend to forget. You know, once something happens, you throw it out your mind. it's a done deal. It's done and over with. The odds of it happening again are slim and none, because you done went off the beaten path of being focused and paying attention to everything that's going on around you, and you allowed that to slip away.
I tell my kids, stay alert, stay alive.
That's right. That's right. Ooh, that's a good safety slogan.
Yeah, I got it in the military.
Really?
Yeah.
What branch?
I was in the Army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Let me ask you this. This is something I always want to ask military men too. Is there a rivalry going on between the Marines, the Army, and the Navy?
No, it's the Marines and the Navy are the ones that have the rivalry.
Oh, okay. So the Army, they don't have an attitude problem with the Army.
The Marines dislike the Army because of friendly fire.
Okay.
They do not like friendly fire.
Okay.
Marines have been shot at and possibly killed, probably killed from friendly fire.
Okay.
And that's the Army.
Okay.
That's why they have a problem with the Army. And it's as big as drones and things like that. I mean, just an accident. You think they're terrorists, and it's your team.
I can't. I mean, that's just like you look at the different levels of law enforcement. For some reason, the sheriff department had no regard for local city cops, and I know this on a personal level because I've dealt with cops all my 28 years of being in this profession, and it seemed like there's a level of animosity between the two agencies. The sheriff is on one level, the city cops is on another level.
Right.
And for some reason, they don't get along with each other. I never could understood that.
Jurisdiction.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Do they, who has the right to do what and when?
I mean, you would think both agencies are in law enforcement, and y'all would come together, because one doesn't always help the other, and the other one, just pretty much ignored. Now, the only other level that, and for what I've seen, sheriffs get along with the state. State, in their own kind of way, I guess they don't have nothing to do with local law enforcement either. Because I witnessed a time to where there was a state, well, I'll take it back. There was the FBI and the sheriff's department together doing something undercover at a site that I was working. And I was always trying to see what the difference was between the two different agencies, And the state police, they get along with the sheriff's department. I mean, with the FBI, but they're kind of neutral when it comes to the sheriff's department. Because the state is pretty much their own entity, by themselves.
Right.
Because every state policeman is a lone wolf. Because that's all they do. They travel the interstate.
Well, they do the big stuff on the news. You hear about just people acting like cops and pulling people over and then having their way. That's all state there.
Really?
They deal with the big picture.
Oh, okay. Well, I had that happen to me once.
Oh, geez. They got websites now that you can call or phone numbers that you can call and say, hey, you got a unit pulling me over right now, and that's part of a safety procedure now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Is that statewide?
Shoot, I think that's nationwide now.
Really?
Just because it's been such a problem. People pretending to be cops and pulling people over.
Oh yeah, I had that happen to me once. I had a guy flash a badge at me. He told me he was a cop. He was working undercover, And shortly after I waited for him to pull off, but I wrote down his plate number when he was driving this little small pickup truck, and I wrote down his license plate number. Then I got on the phone, and for me, working the site that I was working, there was a whole lot of cops that knew me. So I called dispatch, and I asked. I said, "Hey, you got any undercover cops working out here in the mall area?" Because I was just approached by one that claims to be undercover. Gave a description and all that stuff, And just so happens, shortly after I did that, I went over to, there was a movie theater across from the shopping mall. And I happened to know a couple of cops that worked off duty over there. And I went over, and I talked to them. And you know, when they off duty, they doing other jobs, they carry their radios. And I asked them, I said, did you hear the call from dispatch pertaining to an undercover cop being in the mall? He said, yeah. I said, was that you? I said, yeah, that was me. You know, I called it in. And he said, yeah, I heard about it. He said, yeah, there's been some rumors about this guy driving around pretending to be an undercover cop. You know, and I gave him the direction that he headed in where I last saw him. So to this day, I don't know if they caught the guy or not. But just like you said, you know, it's an ongoing problem. Right. And I don't know, man. I don't know. This job, boy, it just takes you to different levels, different things.
Well, you live in, you know, just a town that's just has a really high crime rate for its capital. I mean, it's a dangerous city. But you know, hats off to all the law enforcement.
Oh yeah, I show no negativity towards them whatsoever. You know, I mean, even if we do got a few crappy cops, you know, I still feel like, hey, they got family too, you know, and that's how I look at it.
That's right.
And really, to be honest with you, it was cops that trained me to do this job.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was my best education, because I had a cop. He told me, he said, Jerry, you make a good policeman. I said, bullshit. He said, what do you mean? I said, I ain't trying to be no cop. I don't want to be a cop. He said, why not? It's a good profession. I said, please, y'all got too much fucking politics.
Yeah, it's tough. Know? And I mean, just there's not enough bodies, and just everyone's after a piece of the pie.
Right, and that's it. It's a political machine. Because if you ain't in the upper echelon, and if you don't go along to get along, you low man on the totem pole in the police force. I don't care what state you live in, that's the way they work. Yeah. It's all political. Even trying to be a detective, it's hard being a detective. I used to talk to detectives all the time, you know, and they told me it was hard for them to get to where they want because they didn't play the game, you know. Yeah. And it took a lot of them forever to even get to that level because of that, because it was too much politics, you know. Right. I mean, from the mayor to the governor, you know, the commissioner, or
that's how it was for me in the military too. Just you have to cross train to get promoted. Mm-hmm. And you know, if you want to stick to your job, if you like your job, you're probably not going to get promoted.
Right. You know? Well, yeah, like you said, well, it's politics in the military too. Yeah. It's all over. Well, Jerry.
Tim,
nice chatting with you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck with whatever your project is.
Yeah, it's fun.
So this is going to be like an entrepreneur type thing for you?
You know, it's a start. I'm just starting out because a lot of it is revolves around the public sphere and getting people's voices heard, and because there's just a kind of politics in art too, just how art is chosen, and people that are down to earth aren't getting a voice in what kind of art they want to see.
Well, your biggest problem in art is critics.
Yeah.
People that write about y'all.
That's right.
Yeah,
and those guys are just, you know, they got their heads in the clouds, and people that are ordinary people don't have a voice.
And I bet you they ain't never pushed a pencil on a piece of paper in their life.
But they can say stuff about it.
And they know everything there is to know about art. That's all they do. They just write about it. They don't visualize or see it. You know, they walk into a museum, they see a paper. Oh, that looks good, so I'm gonna write about it, and that's it. It's a done deal, and that's all they know about art. You know, they don't delve into the minds of what the artist is, or the creator, or
it's changing. These times are changing.
Yeah,
they're getting better. People. It used to be a rebellion against and just antisocial alienation of artists, but now we're part of the people. You know?
Yeah, see. And I mean, I didn't see nobody I ain't never heard nobody say the negative thing against Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Negative about Andy, you know. And he was cool.
Yep.
He was cool.
Just down to earth.
Yep. And he did a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he did. He was a leader.
Oh yeah. He broke a trail for artists all over. Well, hey, have a good day, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you. Yeah. What? I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
No, I did.
You were thinking about it.
Okay, well, y'all plead me in. Whatever it was.